Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Huawei Watch GT 2. Okay, so as you can see, I have several devices in front of me. Two smartwatches, in fact. All these are made by Huawei, and the point is that I've used Huawei smartwatches before. This is the first gen Watch GT. And there's a very big difference between these three models that are in front of me. There's one that's missing, I just couldn't find it. It's the Band 3 Pro. And it's similar to this, which is the Band 3E. These are fitness bands. They do notifications, that general stuff like that. And then you have the Watch GT, which is kind of the same thing, but in a different form factor. This is using something called LiteOS, and it's Huawei's own thing. It's not as heavy as Android, and the big selling point was that you can get weeks of battery life out of a smartwatch, which is not the case with really anything else. I've got a Fossil Gen 5 smartwatch on it. I get, about a day. And when I say a day, I mean from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. A lot of the times it's ready to go into battery saver mode by the time I put it on a charger. And then, of course, right here, we have the Huawei Watch 2. I want to say it was called the Sport. Might have just been called the Watch 2. And this was actually Android Wear, as it was called at the time. Now it's called Wear OS. And this wasn't ever refreshed. They haven't used Wear OS ever since. And, God, I hated this thing. Just look at the band, the way that it's, you can't easily change it. The bezels were massive. And, Wear OS is good in its own way, but yeah, I didn't care for this one. It was so thick, and I really liked the Watch GT a lot more. What I didn't like was that lack of functionality that comes with not having Wear OS. Wear OS, here's some of the benefits, right? It has Google Maps. That's big because you pair it with your Android phone or your iPhone, and you're getting directions through Google Maps, and it gives you turn-by-turn navigation on your wrist. So you're driving, you don't have to have that voice over the speaker that says, hey, turn right in a half mile, turn right in a quarter mile, turn right in 200 feet, turn right. And it goes over whatever you're listening to from your Bluetooth, and it gets super annoying. So it just shows up on your wrist. You just look down, okay, I gotta turn right in a little bit. It works out pretty well. And so that's one of those things you're missing. Another thing you were missing is music playback. And that's something that's fixed in the Watch GT2. So there's actually, they made a lot of improvements over here. So I'm kind of excited about it. So it works through Huawei Health, by the way. And Huawei Health is actually pretty good as far as fitness trackers go, because one, it does sleep tracking. And the sleep tracking's been done on a lot of things. It's not done on Wear OS or Apple Watch, but it's been done in a lot of places, and it's usually pretty useless. Usually you can see how much you slept, how much deep sleep you got, how much light sleep you got, and then that's it. And it's like, okay, maybe if I can look and see that I woke up at 3 a.m. every day, I can see that something's happening at 3 a.m. I don't know. Huawei has something called True Sleep, where they actually give you insights on what you can do to improve the areas of your sleep where you're lacking. So that's actually pretty impressive, and it's actually pretty useful. So let's get this open. Oh, we got a little piece of plastic here. Oh, there's two pieces of plastic keeping this box closed. And here we go. All right, so this is the matte black color, black fluoroelastomer strap. I'm not sure I've ever heard that word before, fluoroelastomer, but that's what this strap is made of. Okay. Oh, nice packaging here. Smartwatches do tend to come in nice packaging, don't they? I guess maybe because it's a fashion accessory. Okay, so here's the watch. Let's take a look at what else is in the box. Wow, I'm just slowly opening these pieces because it's so nice. All right, we got a charging plate, which is different from the one that the Watch, different from the one that the Watch 2 used. The Watch GT is the same one, and it's got pins right in the middle there. And we're gonna get this guy open because we're gonna need that. It plugs in through USB Type-C. So that's nice because that means you can plug it into whatever cable you have lying around, which is super useful. It really annoys me when you get these things and they plug in through micro USB because I don't know about you guys, but I don't have many micro USB cables lying around anymore. Like, I gotta dig through my cable drawer to find micro USB these days. Okay, so here's our cable, and it is USB Type A to USB Type C. And is there going to be a power adapter in here? Looks like there is not. So it's just the cable and the charging plate. And then we have a quick start guide, which is going to tell me to download Huawei Health on my phone. Yeah, charging, Huawei Health, pairing your watch with your phone, and getting help. So those are the 4 topics, and we're just going to put this back in here and never look at it again. So I've downloaded Huawei Health on my Pixel 4 XL, which is what I'm using this with because that's what I'm reviewing right now. And it's all pretty simple. You know, you'll see a menu at the bottom. You hit devices, click pair, and you just, go right in. Weirdly, when you select the language, it sends you to English UK is at the top, and then you have to scroll down for regular English. But so right now we're downloading a firmware update, so we can look at a couple things. Like, this is the Huawei Watch 2. Okay, you can put them right next to each other. You see the design of the new one is quite nice. It has that curved or diagonal glass on the sides. It doesn't have these huge stainless steel bezels that go over it. The glass pulls all the way across the body on this one, and it's much nicer. Same 2 buttons, and the design has really evolved over time. Like, look how thick that is. Compared to this, it's much more comfortable to wear with something that's this size. So this has started updating, but you can see that now we have the Watch GT, and if I put the 3 next to each other, I can't even lay this one flat. But you can see there's a big difference from the Watch 2 to the Watch GT, just in terms of design. It's a lot slimmer, narrower bezels, but you can see it shares a design language between the 2 devices. We have a bigger screen over here, but they're very similar. So now we kind of have that same design language between the GT and the GT2, but it's once again more refined. And I like this a lot. I like the all glass look. I just hope there's not a lot of compromises between these devices. What this is mainly about, this refresh, it eliminates a lot of compromises. For example, like I said, you can play back music that you have stored on the device. What music, though? Because if you use a streaming service, you're not going to be able to play your Apple Music, your Google Play Music, so I don't know. You can make and receive calls from the device, or at least you can receive calls. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. There's an always-on display now, which there wasn't before. Notice, you can't even tap to wake on this one, and it's rough. That's one of those big sacrifices. Okay, and so hopefully this one comes out a lot better. So another thing we can look at, it's just the sides. You can see, like I said, slim body, which is a big deal to me. It just has to be comfortable to wear, and it has to look fashionable. And it seems like this pulls off both. I feel like we're seeing a lot of fashionable watches this year. For example, that Fossil. But that's a good thing because it wasn't that long ago that this was the trend. It was thick. It was bulky. A half an inch thick. It was insane. So this is a lot nicer. Like I said, 2 vertically aligned charging pins on the back, along with a heart rate sensor in between them. And I'm not a fan of this charging method. Like I said, the Watch GT is exactly the same, and the Watch 2 actually had them 4 pins off to the side. So I'm not a fan of this charging method because those pins can get dirty after a while. You sweat under the watch, they get a little corroded or whatever, and you have to clean them or else it might not charge properly. You might put it on the charger and you might have to move it a little bit to get it to work right. And especially since you might be wearing this for like 2 weeks straight, it might be a real issue of sweating underneath them. You're going to wear it to sleep, you're going to do all that stuff. So, who knows? So what I actually prefer over pins like this is, one, wireless charging, which is what the Apple Watch does. It's what the Moto 360 did, if you remember that. And If I can't get wireless charging, I'll tell you what I prefer is what we get with Fossil watches, where you get these rings on the bottom. So those two pins can connect anywhere on these rings on the device. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot harder for a whole ring to get dirty than it is for just those two tiny little dots. Now, I'm not saying I've had this particular problem with Huawei watches. I'm saying I've had a problem with some watches, and it's something to be aware of. So this is still updating, and it's only at 32%, which is interesting. It's actually a 148 megabyte update, which for a smartwatch that's running LiteOS, that's huge. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously there's a lot more storage on this one than there was on the previous one, because the previous one, obviously there was no apps, there was no anything, really. Just the preloaded apps, the preloaded watch faces. And I don't think there's apps on this one either, but there's more. You can store music on it, so obviously there's a lot more storage, there's more RAM, and it can just do more. So the update is 93% transferred now. It's been going for a solid 10 minutes, and it also says don't use your phone or the watch while it's updating. And after it transfers, it still has to install, so it does take a while to transfer this update. If you're getting this update, if you have the watch, a couple things that are new. It adds the gallery watch face. It optimizes playback for playlists and smoother listening. You can see it here. Optimizes the speed of GPS positioning, increases the accuracy of heart rate monitoring during workouts, and it increases system stability. And so it's 97% transferred now, and then once it's done transferring, it's still got to install, requires 20% battery to install. The really sad thing is that it says you can't use your phone while it's transferring or while it's installing, which is kind of dumb. No other watch I know of does that. It's usually, hey, this is going to take a while. Feel free to use your phone as you normally would, but not in this case. So, all right, it's transferred, I assume, which would be why that happens. It still says 99% on the phone, so I guess this is the screen. Yeah, so that means it's installing that little progress bar down there. So hopefully this doesn't take much longer, because it's kind of annoying. So while that's setting up, I did get a chance to finish on my phone, so it's just while it's transferred that you can't use the phone, I guess. We're going to turn on notifications, definitely. We have to enable notification access. All right, that's done, and we can... Oh, I thought we were... Okay. Nope, we're in settings. Okay. Yeah, so we can choose which apps that we want notifications from. I'm going to say Messages, Messenger, Twitter, no thanks, Gmail, no, Facebook, no, Calendar, I'll take. Wow, there's a lot on there. I want Skype and Slack, right? Yeah, so we want those. I can always edit this stuff later. But yeah, there's a lot there, so you know we can just okay. Only notifications that appear in the notification panel can be sent to your wearable device, and what that means is that it's only going to show up like if your phone is on Do Not Disturb and it doesn't show notifications while on Do Not Disturb, you're not going to see it on your watch. If you turned on notifications on that screen and then you don't have it on for that app with the device, you're not going to get those notifications. So that's what that means. We can explore the app a little bit. We can't see much of the device because the device is not connected. But yeah, this is where we check for updates. This is where we get all our steps and calories. I can't do that right now, but if I just go to health, you can see that I've taken 9 steps since I downloaded this app minutes ago. 100% walking, it tells you if you're climbing or running. There's a weekly view, a monthly view, a yearly view. It's actually pretty good, and all this stuff provides insights. Okay, this is what? Moderate to high intensity, walking, cycling, training. Huawei Health is actually pretty good, so stay on top of your weight. No weight data, that's fine. Sleep quality, there's not going to be any data for that, because obviously... Although I bet if I went to... No, because there was no option in here to sign into an account, which was weird. So I can't sync all of my old Huawei Health data. I guess that only works if you're using a Huawei phone, which is kind of a bummer. All right, messages. There's a message. I don't think I want messages on this app, but
It is what it is. Achievements. So we'll be able to please sync your data. Why can't I sync my data? I'd really like to be able to sign in with my Huawei account and actually get some of this stuff. So exercise, this doesn't have anything to do with the device because you can use Huawei Health with any particular phone. So I'm curious to see how I can... I got to reconnect my device first. All right, so we finally got it up and running, and that was a good 20-minute update. So it works much like other watches where you can press the button, it brings you to all your apps. They don't seem to be in any particular order, which is kind of weird. Torch turns it into a flashlight, and we can just go back. We can go all the way up to the top. Workout records. I think it would be really nice if they were in alphabetical order, and I'm not sure why they're not. This is really kind of unsettling. Settings, take earbuds, and you're going to need Bluetooth earbuds if you want to use the music playback feature. By the way, the screen is beautiful. I love the all glass. It's OLED. It's bright. It's vivid. Okay, advanced screen on standby watch face, style, digital. Okay, so if I do that, so cut your battery time in half and disable raised. Oh, so it disables raised to wake if you do that. But that should give us some kind of always on display, I hope. Kind of bummed that it disables raised to wake. So you kind of have to choose between raised, but there's your always on display. So you have to choose between raised to wake and an always on screen, which is weird. Do not disturb. Obviously, you're gonna want do not disturb if you're wearing it at night. Okay, system restart, power off. Can I swipe to go back? Yeah, I can swipe to go back, so that's cool. Anything else? Okay, quick settings, show time, do not disturb, find phone, alarm, settings. Notifications over here, anything from the left? Yeah, workout rings. And this is the one song that it automatically puts on the watch. I don't know where it came from. Oh, you can play music through the built-in speaker, which is kind of cool. Weather, stress, enable the automatic stress test in Huawei Health. Cool, lots of cool stuff there. So you can swipe through those things. If you swipe in this way, you get those same things. Okay, and yeah, if you try and add music here, it's just gonna do that same. It pulls from local storage. So if you don't have anything, which I don't know where this came from, but it just pulls from local storage. So guys, I am already disappointed that you have to choose between raised to wake and an ambient display. That's really disappointing, and I don't know how because I turned it off. I was trying to see if raised to wake just automatically comes back on because I couldn't find a setting for it, but it seems to. But we'll play. I'm gonna charge it up all the way before I put it on because I want to see how long the battery life lasts. And you notice how it said that the battery life will be cut in half if you turn on that always on display. So it's there's a lot of compromises like that in this device. For example, it says you get 14 days of battery life. That's what Huawei promised. If you have music playback on all day, it's 24 hours. If you're talking on your phone with Bluetooth headphones, which you can do, it's 10 hours. So it goes down really quick. You start turning on settings. So 14 days is the max. I guess it's 7 days if you have that always on display on. I don't plan on really making phone calls or listening to music with this. I don't listen to music a lot with smartwatches. Usually I have my phone with me. And I have a cellular Apple Watch. I bring it to the gym occasionally by itself because, I don't want to have a phone with me when I'm at the gym. And then I'll listen to music there. Very rare, though. And when I do, I prefer a cellular connection so I can stream it. I don't really want to... I want to listen to what I'm in the mood to, not what I was in the mood to when I had time to sync music to the device. So, I'm personally the biggest thing I'm excited about was the ambient display. And what I wasn't excited about, and I didn't realize because of the first time I've seen it in person, was the design changes. It's quite nice. It really is quite a nice device. So, battery life's going to be cool. They promise weeks on this one too.
it was maybe a week, which is still way above and beyond anything that's in the Android or Apple Watch categories. So it's still pretty cool. And, it's a good smartwatch. I just, I hope that my expectations are met. Because to me, this had just a little too many shortcomings, a little too many compromises to hit that battery life. And obviously it gets better over time. And obviously this has more storage, more RAM because it has to do more. And we'll see how it goes. So that's it. I'll review on this in a few weeks, and I'll be wearing this until then. Hopefully the battery doesn't die in the entire time that I'm wearing it. That'd be amazing. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.